Hello guys and welcome. So in this video I wanted to answer the question, what is Death Stranding? This video is aimed at people who know nothing about Death Stranding and have always been curious. Hopefully it will serve as a good starter guide for you. So Death Stranding is an action game that is based in a post-apocalyptic world after the Death Stranding, which wiped out nearly everything. And you play as Sam Porter Bridges on your way one supply drop at a time to try and help to rebuild the game. What's unique about the game is the interactivity and the accomplishment between other players. So as you're establishing routes, if you leave behind ladders and bridges and roads and whatever, other players will also benefit from the work you've done. So and the music in the game, it was composed by Ludwig Farcel. Um, it's beyond fantastic, basically. It's won awards at the Game Awards and so on. Like BB's theme, which is played towards pretty much at the end of the game, it had me crying for like an hour. Like I said, I've had relatives die and not cried that much compared to BB's theme did. So, what I'm going to do, guys, as per always with this What Is series, I'm going to link as many useful resources in the description below, like links to the official website, to the Wikipedia, to the trailers, things like that. Now, there was mixed feelings when this game came out because some people absolutely loved it, some people hated it, some people said it's like Postman Pat the Simulator. But a lot of times, for the years leading up to the release of this game, there was a lot of like, huh? What? Like sort of disbelief at the trailers. They never were able to work out what the game was. They just couldn't. And even after it released, some people still felt the same way. Now, the engine of the game was provided by Gorilla, who also are the people who are behind Horizon Zero Dawn. So they basically just gifted the engine to Kojima Productions to help him get established as his own studio. That's why you see certain hints towards Horizon Zero Dawn in this game, in case you didn't know that this is the Horizon Zero Dawn engine. And the I have made a separate video as well about Horizon Zero Dawn, so I will also link that in the description below, where I talked about the innovations that the engine gave and allowed the PlayStation 4 to really push its limits. Now, there is a famous cast in this. I'm not going to say all-star, but there is a famous cast in this, including Norman Reedus and Troy Baker and many other actors in the game. And it was very well done. The acting was very well done. Now, the typical sort of Hideo Kojima style of games, they tend to be very story heavy with a lot of cutscenes. So, for example, Metal Gear Solid 2, back in the day on PlayStation 2, it was like an 8-hour game with about 6 hours of cutscenes. But for me personally, it didn't take away from the enjoyment. Like, games are a form of entertainment. So some games are very heavy on the story, like this one, and some are less so. But this is one, I would say, one of the more heavy story-based games. And also as well, some people did complain about the controlling, because the more that you're holding on your back in terms of supplies and so on, the more difficult it is to stay balanced. Like, you have to work really hard to stay balanced all the time. So even a simple thing as walking can be a challenge in this game without falling over. And you always have to make sure that you get as many resources as possible to the different supply drops. Now, I personally really enjoyed this game. I thought it was very, very good. It really, the last hour of the game, I had tears running down my face, like I said, the whole time. And so all the advertising, like towards the release of the game, showed all the main characters with tears in their eyes. And I would say, in my experience, that wasn't overtly or false advertising. That is a real reflection of what it could mean if you really get invested in the story of this game. Now, what we're going to do for the sake of it, we're now going to look at the official website, and we're going to read through it quickly and see what there is. So as you can see here, yeah, all the main characters are crying. There's a reason. So, and I would say as well, with a game like this, don't go into it like thinking that it's not like a typical action adventure game or platform. It's not like Uncharted where you have to just run around and get treasure and blah blah blah. It's not about that at all. You are trying to establish and rebuild a shattered world. So there's a lot of seriousness to a game like this. You really don't see them have fun or see them laugh or whatever. It's about the feeling of what humans or what people would need to do to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. I'll say no more than that. And I won't even bother to explain the role of the babies if you haven't seen already. You're going to have to play the game to work it out. Now, let's go onto the official website now. Okay, so here's the official website. I will, like I said, it will be linked in the description below. So it says, journey between life and death. Begin your quest to save civilization in a broken world rife with supernatural dangers. And it was enhanced for PlayStation 4 Pro. So, what is Death Stranding? Well, that's convenient, because that's what this video is about. So from legendary game creator Hideo Kojima comes an all-new genre-defying open-world action-adventure for PlayStation 4, starring Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Leah Sedox, and Lindsay Wagner. In the near future, mysterious explosions have rocked the globe, setting off a series of supernatural events known as the Death Stranding. With otherworldly creatures plaguing the landscape and mass extinction imminent, it's up to Sam-Porter Bridges to travel across the ravaged wasteland and save humanity from impending annihilation. So yeah, it's like a bit different to Pokemon, you know what I mean? So, and yeah, so that's basically it. And then you have a bunch of images and videos and stuff like that. And the different versions of the game, you can get different things for it. Different statues and whatever. Now, what can I say, guys? Like, this game is unique. Like, as like Hideo Kojima said, it's the first of the Stranding type of game. He was trying to establish a new style of game when he made this one. Not everyone is convinced. Not everyone believes in this sort of thing. But I like any sort of innovation to push the industry even further and so on. And Death Stranding, I've always been meaning to do a what is video for it just because of how unique it is and how much it stands out in the crowd on the sea of games that I cover on this channel. So all I will say is, what I'm also going to do, I'm not just going to talk about the good things, I'm also going to link to someone who hated Death Stranding, who is Video Game Donkey. He actually really didn't like the game. He gave it a really terrible review. But I think it's important to see both sides. Like, I'm not here in this What Is series to just pretend like every game is amazing and everyone universally loves every game. Like, hell no. Some people love it. Some people love this game. Some people hated it. I really enjoyed watching through this game. Other people really didn't like it. So, but the point is, it got a lot of people's attention, and I think that's important with this sort of form of entertainment. And I am curious to see what Hideo Kojima comes up with next. Hopefully, like a really good horror game or something. Like, hopefully they can like get Silent Hill back on track or something like that. So, as I say, guys, Hideo Kojima is not new to making amazing games. Pretty much everything he touches turns into gold in terms of gaming. So, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just sort of reflecting on my time watching this game. Like, and there's always more to learn, there's always more to read. So what the main criticism that Video Game Donkey had about this game is that the structure was lots of cutscenes, random gameplay, lots of cutscenes. With as in, like, he said you could have put any gameplay in between the cutscenes and it would have ended up being the same game. You could have put anything. So, and I see what he means in terms of that. But at the same time, like, I think what the game was trying to emphasize is how difficult and how much of a struggle life can be for some people and how hard you need to work even to do sometimes basic things. Like, I suffer from mental illness in my personal life, and every day can be a struggle just to do what I feel comes so easily and so naturally to so many other people. So I think the game really tries to lift people's level of empathy towards the sort of struggles that other people have. But of course, by increasing the stakes and pushing it to literally life and death. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, I could talk about this game and the theory of this game all day. But I think that will do as a what is Death Stranding. Tell me in those comments down below, have you played this game? What do you think of it? Do you have positive reaction? Did you have negative reaction? Have you always been curious? Have you never played it? Let me know everything in those comments down below. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can watch a random video over there. You can watch the latest upload down there. Or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.